In this video, I'll show you how to turn an R Markdown document into a Word document. And so that's what you're seeing here is the Word document for the corn dataset that we looked at in the previous video. Here, you're seeing the corn production in Minnesota as an example of an R Markdown document. What you can see here is that it mixes the text, the code, and the plots that we create when we write an R Markdown file. And so here you can see in gray is all the code and output that's produced, along with some of the text, such as entering the years here, entering the area harvested, with all the code in between. And so as we scroll through this file, you can see this should look familiar because it's exactly what we looked at in the R Markdown document, in the R document. And so here we're seeing the plots nested within this document. That's very nice to see. And then the code for the next plot that we create is on the second page. And so this is the final product that an R Markdown file produces, a Word document. Now let's go to the R Studio and we'll look at the R Markdown file. This is corn.rmd. We have some header information, including the title, the author, and the date. And what you see here is the mixing of text along with code and plots. And so there's some text information here. What you see in gray is R code. And all that code in gray is started by a tick, 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 R, and then it's ended in a tick, tick, tick. And so this is what we call an R chunk. To run everything in an R chunk, you can hit the play button off on the right. And so we can do this for each chunk of code that we see here. Remember, we're going to make a data set where we enter the years, the area harvested, and the yield. And then we calculate the total production. We calculate the mean yield. And then we make it into a data frame. And then the last two things we'll do, we'll make a plot of the yield over time. Again, we can see that trend. It looks like it peaks in 2016 and decreases. And then we can plot the yield over time, looking at the bushels per acre, and we'll add a line graph to that. And so you can see that here. And so this is great. We've just basically rewritten our R code, but what do we do with it now? Now we want to knit it to a Word document. And so if you go up here in the banner of the R Studio window, there's a couple of different options to knit. You can knit it to HTML, and that will open up in a web browser. You can knit it to PDF format, or you can knit it to a Word document. I'm going to suggest that you knit to Word documents because it seems to work the easiest for most people. So when we click Knit to Word, you can see another R Markdown window opens here, and then it automatically spits out a Word document. I'm just going to change how I view this. I'm going to edit the document now. And so voila, here's what we started with. Now we have a knitted R Markdown document in Word format that shows our analysis that we've done. This class will make use of R Markdown documents extensively, and so it's important to understand how to use them and to use them well.